be stated here that about a third of the text of the Gospel of Judas is either missing or damaged, and thus the listener will hear inconsistencies with the narration. Introduction. Incipit. The secret account of the revelation that Jesus spoke in conversation with Judas Iscariot during a week 3 days before he celebrated Passover. The earthly ministry of Jesus. When Jesus appeared on earth, he performed miracles and great wonders for the salvation of humanity. And since some walked in the way of righteousness while others walked in their transgressions, the 12 disciples were called. He began to speak with them about the mysteries beyond the world and what would take place at the end. Often, he did not appear to his disciples as himself, but he was found among them as a child. Scene 1. Jesus dialogues with his disciples. The prayer of thanksgiving, or the Eucharist. One day, he was with his disciples in Judea, and he found them gathered together and seated in pious observance. When he approached his disciples, gathered together and seated, and offering a prayer of thanksgiving over the bread, he laughed. The disciples said to him, "Master, why are you laughing at our prayer of thanksgiving? We have done what is right." He answered and said to them, "I am not laughing at you. You are not doing this because of your own will, but because it is through this that your God will be praised." They said, "Master, you are the Son of our God." Jesus said to them, "How do you know me? Truly, I say to you, no generation of the people that are among you will know me." The disciples become angry. When his disciples heard this, they started getting angry and infuriated and began blaspheming against him in their hearts. When Jesus observed their lack of understanding, he said to them, "Why has this agitation led you to anger? Your God who is within you, and have provoked you to anger within your souls. Let any one of you who is strong enough among human beings bring out the perfect human and stand before my face." They all said, "We have the strength." But the spirits did not dare to stand before him, except for Judas Iscariot. He was able to stand before him, but he could not look him in the eyes, and turned his face away. Judas said to him, "I know who you are, and where you have come from. You are from the immortal realm of Barbelo, and I am not worthy to utter the name of the one who has sent you." Jesus speaks to Judas privately. Knowing that Judas was reflecting upon something that was exalted, Jesus said to him, "Step away from the others, and I shall tell you the mysteries of the kingdom. It is possible for you to reach it, but you will grieve a great deal, for someone else will replace you, in order that the 12 disciples may again come to completion with their God." Judas said to him, "When will you tell me these things? And when will the great day of light dawn for the generation?" But when he said this, Jesus left him. Scene 2. Jesus appears to the disciples again. The next morning after this happened, Jesus appeared to his disciples again. They said to him, "Master, where did you go? And what did you do when you left us?" Jesus said to them, "I went to another great and holy generation." His disciples said to him, "Lord, what is the great generation that is superior to us, and holier than us, that is not now in these realms." When Jesus heard this, he laughed and said to them, "Why are you thinking in your hearts about the strong and holy generation? Truly, I say to you, no one born of this aeon will see that generation, and no host of angels of the stars will rule over that generation, and no person of mortal birth can associate with it, because that generation does not come from which has become. The generation of people among you is from the generation of humanity. Power, which the other powers by which you rule." When his disciples heard this, they each were troubled in spirit. They could not say a word. Another day Jesus came up to them. They said to him, "Master, we have seen you in a vision, for we have had great dreams, night." He said, "Why have you, when you have gone into hiding?" The disciples see the temple and discuss it. They said, "We have seen a great house with a large altar in it, and 12 men. They are the priests, we would say, and a name. And a crowd of people is waiting at that altar until the priests and receive the offerings. But we kept waiting." Jesus said, "What are the priests like?" They said, "Some 2 weeks. Some sacrifice their own children, others their wives, in praise and humility with each other. Some sleep with men, some are involved in slaughter, some commit a multitude of sins and deeds of lawlessness. And the men who stand before the altar invoke your name. And in all the deeds of their deficiency, the sacrifices are brought to completion." After they said this, they were quiet, for they were troubled. Jesus offers an allegorical interpretation of the vision of the temple. Jesus said to them, "Why are you troubled? Truly, I say to you, all the priests who stand before that altar invoke my name. Again, I say to you, my name has been written on this, of the generations of the stars through the human generations. And they have planted trees without fruit in my name, in a shameful manner." Jesus said to them, "Those you have seen receiving the offerings at the altar, that is who you are. That is the God you serve, and you are those 12 men you have seen. The cattle you have seen brought for sacrifice are the many people you led astray before that altar. Will stand and make use of my name in this way, and generations of the pious will remain loyal to him. After him another man will stand there from the fornicators, and another will stand there from the slayers of children, and another from those who sleep with men, and those who abstain, and the rest of the people of pollution and lawlessness and error, and those who say, 'We are like angels.' They are the stars that bring everything to its conclusion. For to the human generations it has been said, 'Look, God has received your sacrifice from the hands of a priest, that is, a minister of error.' But it is the Lord of the universe who commands, 'On the last day they will be put to shame.'" Jesus said to them, "Stop sacrificing, which you have, over the altar, since they are over your stars and your angels, and have already come to their conclusion there. So let them be ensnared before you, and let them go. Generations. A baker cannot feed all creation under heaven, and to them, and to us, and." Jesus said to them, "Stop struggling with me. Each of you has his own star, and everybody in who has come. Spring for the tree of this aeon for a time, but he has come to water God's paradise and the generation that will last, because he will not defile the walk of life of that generation, but for all eternity. Judas asks Jesus about that generation and human generations. Judas said to him, "Rabbi, what kind of fruit does this generation produce?" Jesus said, "The souls of every human generation will die. When these people, however, have completed the time of the kingdom and the Spirit leaves them, their bodies will die, but their souls will be alive, and they will be taken up." Judas said, "And what will the rest of the human generations do?" Jesus said, "It is impossible to sow seed on rock and harvest its fruit. This is also the way, the defiled generation, and corruptible Sophia, the hand that has created mortal people, so that their souls go up to the eternal realms above. Truly, I say to you, angel, power will be able to see that, these to whom, holy generations." After Jesus said this, he departed. Scene 3. Judas recounts a vision and Jesus responds.